So although I may look sweet and innocent, on the inside I am rather evil, and I love being evil in video games. It's my favourite thing to do, and this is a difficult one to try and pin down because there's so many games that you can be evil in, like the Telltale games, for example. I love playing them through and being the good guy to begin with, but then I love just going through and just being an absolute arsehole to people. You know, just little Clementine just back-chatting Rebecca because she's an absolute B-word and I hate her so much, and just being able to just backchat her and just be an utter arsehole to someone who is also an arsehole is just the best feeling, which is something I don't really get to do in real life. So I love being evil in video games, but I'm gonna have to go with one that really sticks in my mind that just was delightfully evil but just so fun to do, and that is in the Hitman games when you have to kill an old lady called Helen West, her name is, and she is working for an evil person, which I cannot remember the name of. I think his name's Jameis or something, and basically she's got this little cupcake industry where she sells these lovely little cupcakes and people are loving them and they're addicted to them, but I'm pretty sure she's like smuggling drugs in them, or she's injecting drugs into these cupcakes, so she's very not a nice person, okay, and they want her dead. You have to kill her, and there's obviously different ways that you can do it, but my favourite way, which gives you the option to do this, is you can knock her out and burn her in her own furnace within her own home. It is fantastic. I remember hiding on the stairs waiting for this little old lady to come down and just sitting there, just preying on this poor innocent old woman who isn't actually that innocent. She looks really cute and adorable, and I hated myself for having to attack this lady, but then you remember she's actually a very evil person. So yeah, just chucked a crowbar at her head, knocked her out, picked her up, chucked her in her own furnace and burned the bitch, because damn did that feel good. Yeah, gotta be evil in Hitman. You have to be. What's Hitman without a little bit of evil?
Evil things in games, I love the old school, the 2000s when we were just sort of messing around with stuff. We hadn't really become more, progressive or aware of morals, and when we were younger it didn't really matter. You just sort of dove into a game and just killed everything. It was the glory days of GTA, it was the glory days of Rockstar, playing Manhunt and the Warriors and everything else, and you just explored every facet of the moralistic spectrum. So for me, I remember just lamping Al Jelani right in the face in Mass Effect, just a reporter doing her job, just sort of, hey, Commander Shepard, how's life? Punched right in the face. You do it in every single game. They made it a running joke. It was hilarious. Big fan, and doing all the renegade options in those games as well. I'm gonna go with Fable though, because the very first time I played Fable, as soon as I found out that the more evil you are, the more your appearance will change, and the more you'll grow horns and your eyes will go red, and people will actually start running from you. I was like, well, I'm gonna see how much I can push this. And I just remember, how old would I have been? Like 15 or something? Let's just see how evil I can be. So I just broke all the doors down. I terrorized a tiny little village. I killed everybody. I kicked all the chickens, because you can kick all the chickens in all directions. And then I got my big horns, and I just was like, yeah, this is full on demon. This kind of predates Overlord, and I was loving it. So it's full on cartoon evil, I think, maybe actual evil, probably both. But it's lamping reporters and kicking chickens left, right, and centre. That's for the most part the most evil thing I've done, I think.
So, perhaps unsurprisingly, the most evilest thing that I've ever done in a video game comes in Fallout New Vegas, but it's not actually tied to any kind of quest or moral choice or anything like that. It's something I did out of my own anger and, I guess, pure own volition, because earlier in the game you get the choice to essentially walk past a prison complex if you're following the main story. It's kind of like the prison from The Walking Dead season 3 or the comics, and it's a cool fortified place, and the twist is obviously some of the outlaws, some of the prisoners, they've taken over. They now control it. The powder gangers, they're called, and you have a run-in with them early on when you get to either side with them or defend a town from them. And honestly, I've played this game like 10 times, and every single time I don't side with the powder gangers. In fact, I barely even view them as a faction. I just view them as like less than human, and I wipe them out every single time. One of the first things I do is go to their prison and just mow them all down without talking to them, which, you know, it doesn't sound that evil, but completely eradicating an entire faction in this game for no real reason other than the fact that I want to kill them and I want the prison. It's already starting you off on the back foot, but one specific time I did this, the first time that I did this, I was also playing it on hardcore mode, which is quite difficult, especially at that point in time where you have like a pistol and like a broken shotgun and I'm trying to take out like 50 dudes. And also your limbs break, so you're always wandering around if you get hit and you can't aim properly. It's a complete nightmare and it's so frustrating. And I was completely underleveled to wipe out all of these people. And yeah, I kept trying anyway, I kept reloading saves. I kept edging my way through using explosives, and it took me like a couple of hours to wipe everyone out. And I was so frustrated off that experience that I wasn't just content with the slaughter of all of these people. I went back through the prison complex and hacked the arms and legs and head off every single person in the entire complex. All of these guys went through with a machete and, you know, just hit their bodies until it was mulch, and then I tried to line their heads up in a kind of like, you know, like as a warning sign to other people because they'd pissed me off so much and I needed to get this frustration out. So I kind of turned into a serial killer for a little bit, and I was actually playing a good character at the time and I just viewed them as bad people. And I'm pretty sure at the time my girlfriend came by and she was like, "What are you doing, Josh?" And I'm just hacking these dudes, just bloody going for it. And I was just like, "Nah, I'm just murdering these people." And she was like, "Well, are they not dead already?" And I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, "Well, what did they do?" And I was like, nothing much, just looked at me the wrong way and now they're in bits." And I still did this and then took the moral high ground when it came to Caesar's Legion. So, you know, I don't think I had a leg to stand on, really.
So, evil things in video games. We've all been there. We've all done really bad things that weren't our own fault in any way, shape or form. You know, these games sometimes push us to do really, really bad things. And in Red Dead 2, accidents just tend to happen, like when the camp's low on food and then you go into the farms nearby roads and then you just massacre the cows to steal all the beef and all the materials because we need it more than those pesky farmers do, but also real guilt that you're not out there, you know, hunting an animal proper and true and all that, and you just kind of just killed this big dumb cow, like in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where Babyface Nelson just guns down the cows after going, "I hate cows," and then he just guns them down. It's a great film, you should watch it. Farms just tend to bring bad memories for me in Red Dead 2. There's a little like hobbit hole type farm that's like in the Heartlands, and I remember going there, and I can't remember why I went there, but I was there. I don't know whether it was because there was an enemy nearby or whatever, but I was just admiring the farm's goats. And then the farmer came along and then started trying to intimidate me. And then he just pulled his gun on me and I killed him. And then you know what happens next? His dog comes after me and starts biting me at the ankles. And like, I'm trying to like, "Get away, dog," and then I'm trying to run away, and then it keeps going, and then I kill the dog. It's just terrible. I've never felt more guilt in a video game before. It is properly evil. Maybe not as evil as the people who wait at the end of Fall Guys to just grab and push you, but it was pretty awful. The worst experience ever. Like, every time I've played Red Dead 2, I've had those conversations in camp where, like, they're all there and Arthur's just there like, "I've been killing again, I've been killing animals for the sake of it." And it's like, I don't remember ever doing that. And then in my last playthrough, when the cow and dog incident occurred, it made sense that time. So maybe Rockstar was just predicting that you would do it anyway. Anyway, it's just really bad. I feel bad that I just terrorized 2 farms and killed all their cows and then killed a dog. Might have been self-defense, I don't know. It was just really bad. That game, it just brings traumatic memories to me, whether it's Buell dying at the end, or Arthur dying, or the Skinner brothers, or the Murphy Brood. I don't know, everything about that game brings traumatic memories to me. But especially the farm raids that kind of typified my experience in my last playthrough. It's just bad. Never mess with a farmer and his goats. That is the moral of the story.
All of you cheeky little monkeys. So this is the thing, evil things in video games. Of course, I've got a fair few dastardly tricks that I've played up my sleeve, but the one that I actually think is probably the most heinous crime that I've ever committed, actually we made a video on, which was a sort of evil action that you can do in Fallout 3 that the game doesn't even register that you're doing, and that is that when you're up on the mothership from Mothership Zeta DLC, you can actually fire the death laser that's on there down at the planet below you, which happens to be, obviously, Earth. Now, the game does not do anything to you in terms of karma, which it does for literally everything else, like pickpocketing a bean, but still, in this one, you're literally firing a death laser at a planet which is unequivocally evil, and the game does not punish you at all. So yeah, I still think about how many people I accidentally killed just by doing that, and how many more so I did on the second press. So, yeah.